Hey everyone, you're with Tesla Tom. Thanks so much for joining us on Ludicrous Feed today. I'm joined by Slava Kozlovsky here from rental car sharing company Evee.com.au. Thanks for joining us today, Slava.
Yeah, thank you, Tom.
Tell us a little bit about how Evee.com.au works.
Well, it all started really with we wanted to give people the experience of driving an electric car without needing to pay for a Tesla. So it started in April 2016 just as a regular kind of classic car rental business. We bought a car and it was the very first Tesla available for rent in Australia when we realized that we were having too much demand and we didn't have enough vehicles. So we started reaching out to private owners who already had electric cars and asking whether they'd be happy to share their car. And so since that we started building the car sharing model where we find owners, they list their car on the platform, and then we find the renters, people who travel or who want to try an electric car to rent it from them. So a marketplace platform. And that launched in September 2017.
So how many cars have you currently got in your fleet?
4 vehicles in Sydney, 1 Canberra, 1 Brisbane and 1 Melbourne.
What's the cost to rent a car currently?
Teslas range currently between $229 and almost $500 a day, depending on the spec of the car. We did have at some point a Nissan Leaf and a BMW i3 in the fleet as well. They just weren't getting as much demand as Tesla do. So we're waiting for the longer range EVs to come to Australia. The interesting cars, the Ioniq and the Kona, so hopefully we'll get more reasonably priced vehicles as well. But I think $229 is actually a reasonable cost for a premium car, considering you won't spend anything on petrol.
Well, who sets the price for the rentals? Is it you or is it the owners of the car that set it?
So we advise them on what's the best pricing, but it's essentially up to them. So we just help them kind of navigate the market.
Okay. And is there a bond or a rental deposit?
Yeah, so we freeze $5,000 on the account, which is the maximum amount of liability for the renters. And that is released 48 hours after the end of the rental, just to give the owners, some time to report any issues or any damage if they notice any.
And peace of mind for the owners as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We just want to try, find the right balance for the great customer experience. If it was me, I would love to not charge any deposit at all, but we need to give the protection and peace of mind, like you said, to the owners too. So.
Is there any restriction on mileage? Like, could I hire a Tesla here and drive to, Melbourne or Brisbane from here?
So by default, we just limit at 250 kilometers a day. On top of that, you would just pay an extra fee depending on the price on the rental price of the vehicle. But yeah, customers have traveled to Brisbane, hiring the car for 7 to 10 days, and to Melbourne as well on road trips.
Are there any other reasons why people would want to hire a Tesla a bit longer term?
Try before you buy. Probably some of the people, actually 5 people who rented the car from us for 2-3 days, they ended up buying one. That's confirmed purchases, and we really like that. It just helps people to kind of spend a bit more time with the car, understand that it does suit their needs, and then they can actually make a step and switch to an EV.
I wish I had this service before I bought my Tesla.
And another big customer group is travelers who probably own an electric car somewhere elsewhere, and when they come to Australia, they just don't want a petrol car. They search specifically for this, and they hire an electric car in Australia. From the UK, from Sweden, from California. We're soon launching in the United States as well. We already have 2 Teslas Model 3, which we don't have in Australia yet, but they're available for rent in the States, in Los Angeles through our platform, so you can go check it out. In the upcoming months, we'll definitely have more vehicles available as well. So if you're frequently traveling between the two, Australia and the US, currently West Coast, definitely go have a look. What
are the reasons why people want to lease or rent out their Teslas or electric cars?
Some of the owners, depending on the vehicle's availability, they can earn between $5,000 and $20,000 a year. But beyond financial reasons, many owners just love their Teslas and they want more people to kind of join the community of electric vehicle owners and drivers. So they just love sharing their cars and the experience of driving them. And another thing is the difference with a regular car rental experience. When you go and actually meet the owner of the electric vehicle, and you can ask them directly all the questions about charging, the range, all the questions you have. they ask it, they answer it directly because they know it, they know the car. We actually had an experience of someone hiring a Tesla from Thrifty, and he turned up, but the staff didn't know much about the car itself. It wasn't fully charged, they didn't know where to charge it, so all these things. And then he rented from us and met with the owner, and it was a completely different experience. He paid a bit more, but just enjoy the experience much better as well.
That's a great reason to hire for someone who's actually an owner. Yeah.
For some owners, it's just a convenience, really. Some of them travel for long periods of time, so leave their cars unattended. In this case, we can actually help deliver the cars clean and service and look after them as well as an extra service. So it's just a convenience for them. And secondly, yeah, I mean, it kind of just makes sense. If you have a car and you only use it on weekends or weekdays, depending on your lifestyle, why not share it with someone else if they need it, and just spread the word about electric vehicles.
Have you had any interesting rental stories at all?
Actually, one of the very first ones I remember, because I was delivering and handing over the car, and the person, he was one of the first customers, he came back, got out of the Tesla, and he looked me squarely in the eyes and just said, "Thank you for creating a company like this." And that almost brought tears to my eyes, because it was exactly what I was trying to achieve. Another one I remember was a customer rented the car just for a few hours, wanted to try what it's like, and then he came back again because his mother was in his 80s and she wanted to experience what it's like, what it will be like to drive the cars in the future. So that was another, she said that's off the bucket list.
If I wanted to find out more information, where would I go?
So Evee, spelled evee.com.au. All the information is there. If you would like to actually rent a car, go there and search by location. You can see all the details, and everything's online. So yeah, find us there, and probably on social media as well. Evee Cars.
Or I'll leave a link in the description below to evee.com.au, and you can contact Slava directly through the website or find out more information for yourself. Yeah. All right, Slava, well, thanks very much for your time. Really
Perfect.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you. Yeah. Thanks.
And, all right, guys, thanks very much for joining us on Ludicrous Feed. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and looking forward to hearing from you. And as always, happy charging. Thanks for watching, and thanks for being part of the energy revolution. If you haven't done so already, be sure to hit subscribe to stay up to date with our latest videos. Happy charging!